Alrighty here. So I got myself a little game set up here. We'll see what it takes. I'm starting at about 10 o'clock in the evening. So what I've done is I've created like a little Arnhem type scenario. I don't know. I've just thrown some pieces together and just trying to get a game in. These guys are all off map here. They're hanging over here at the edge. It's going to start out with the tanks. So this is kind of like that first wood scene, and then this is just one of the towns, and then this is Arnhem. So, and then this is the airborne. I'm using American units because that's what I have. It doesn't matter. It's 6 mil. You can't tell what they are. Anyway, I should use British, but I'm just using American stats because that's what I'm used to. But like I said, it's just kind of an Arnhem-like type scenario. So basically, the objective is to capture the bridge. Obviously, that's the major victory. A minor victory if they just catch this town, and then otherwise it's a big fat failure. So these guys basically I'm gonna roll the paratrooper rules to land, see where they land, and then they'll come in. So this is SS here. These are just regular troops. These guys will come in. I think what I'm going to do is these guys won't operate until these guys attack the pillbox on the bridge. So I've got a pillbox on the bridge. I'm just trying to recreate little scenes from the movie, and I don't have It Never Snows, and I'd really like that, but I thought, I don't have it, so let's just make a game up. So as soon as they attack that, these guys can move, and then these guys will get called in. So I'm not really going to simulate all the air landings, although I guess I could do that too. That could be interesting. Actually, I should do that. Change of plans. So I'm going to land these guys. These guys will be airborne. So I'll get rid of those half tracks. These half tracks can go down here to these engineers. These trucks will be gone. I need to actually look up the stats for those half tracks. So these airborne guys, I'll land them here. And they can take on this town. And then the cavalry will ride in and save the day. Wow, we'll see how it goes. People in towns I'm going to be using Blitzkrieg Commander, are nigh impossible to get out. So this will be interesting. And I've got some other troops here in the woods. I wasn't sure what to do with them. I wonder if I should put them behind the woods and they can move once the troops have landed. And then I've got some 3-pack 40s here. To lay waste. So it's going to start out with airborne. Yeah, I should do airborne there and there. And then these guys, how did that go? I guess it's all on the same turn. Airborne, airborne, and then they're going to do the stonk here. They're going to bomb artillery, these guys, and then they'll smoke here probably. And then these tanks will move up. And I've got a Ford artillery / aircraft observer. It's going to be the same guy. I've got one air unit of aircraft I can use as well. Alrighty then. Talk to you later. Ta-ta. So yeah, these guys are going to... I have 3 planned assets, and they're basically going to be used pre-game. And then this guy can call in the smoke if he wants. Well, the smoke will be pre-planned. The smoke will be laid out here. I have 2, so I'll have 2 squares of smoke. And then that's it. Then they can use smoke and artillery later from 105 millimeters. So a little change of plans. So that's what I'm doing, and this is 10 o'clock and getting started. All right, here we go. So the troops up here landed. I rolled off that point there, so they could have ended off map, but they ended up on map. And then I said they could. The rules say 20 centimeters, but I was like, it's too much. So I did 10 centimeters. When you're playing solo, you can just fly by the rules. So they could go, here's the command where he ended up, and you could put the troops 10 centimeters anywhere, and actually 20 is the rule, so that could be way out here. But I put them 10, so they all moved there. The bunker's in there, or the pillbox. The guys I changed my mind, they landed here. So basically what I'm doing is these all land, and now the initiative turn happens. So these guys will be able to move. And I got to check. You're not supposed to be within 5 centimeters, I believe. I may have that wrong. Or is it 10 centimeters of a troop? Just a minute. Yeah, you can't move within 5 centimeters of a visible person, visible unit. These guys are concealed, and they are in a BUA, which I've termed impenetrable. So in these towns, cities, you can't see anybody until you get to the edge of it. The woods you can see 5 centimeters into. Normally the troops have to stop when they get to the edge. So what happened is they moved up, they were able to go within 10. As soon as they put place there, you can see 5 centimeters in, which is essentially all the way through. So they could see these troops, so they had to stop. So all these guys had to stop because they could see all these units. So now they're right at the edge. So basically at the beginning of this turn, they will close assault these guys. Because normally what you can do is you can move into that space, but they couldn't. They had to stop because as soon as they saw them, like, whoa, we have to stop. So on this initiative, they'll all assault these guys, and we'll see what happens there. And now I have to look up and remind myself, can you assault a headquarters? Because you can't technically attack a headquarters unit. Alright, so I'll check all that out. Down here, the 40 here, the 40 here both got hit. They're automatically suppressed because they're hit by artillery. This one didn't take any hits. You're like, what is all this crap here? Cotton candy. And then the machine gun here were hidden. So they took a hit, suppressed, no hits. And now they are they're in gun pits. So it takes a 6 to hit them, not the machine gun. And then the smoke was laid, and so now those scheduled attacks are done. So now these boys will move on up. And this is also impenetrable, and basically you can see, I'm going to say you can see 5. It says you can see 5 centimeters into it, because you cannot, I don't think you could lay smoke that thick. And then these guys, I think I said this, but can move in as soon as these guys are activated. They can activate that turn. Or maybe I should say like the following turn. So I'll say the following turn. So it's the first turn these guys activate, the next turn these guys can come in. So that's what happened after the pre-initial phases. Now the first turn can begin.